Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Savvy Sales Lady Live. Thank you for joining me. Look, you know, and I know you need help. And today I'm bringing the heat with me. Sales and mindset is such a broad subject that over the 50 years I've been selling, I still don't believe I know it all. I have spent the last decade immersed in learning mindset, and I could talk about that subject for months on end. But today we're going to tackle that very subject of mindset. And what I want to do is give you a little bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes of the Mindset Reset webinar. So I want to give you that so you understand what we'll be talking about a little easier. But also, there's another important subject that we need to talk about, and that is rewiring your brain. Your brain can be rewired, and you are rewiring your brain, and you may not even know it, to the negative. We're going to get a little bit into that as well. So right now, I'd like to know if you will drop me a comment that says, "Yo, Savvy." I'll know that you are with me live. I would love that. I see we have people on, but go ahead and drop that into the comment section. So let's kick off things about daily mindset rituals that set you up for sales domination. In my mindset reset, you'll learn a lot of mindset rituals to help you rewire your brain. So let's just go ahead and get into that, shall we? Okay. So, in case you don't know, on October 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I am doing the Mindset Reset webinar. Now, in the comments section, there is a link, and in the description area of the video, there is a link that you can sign up for the Mindset Reset. I'm going to give you a sneak peek today, but we're also going to talk a little bit more about mindset as well. So stay with me. The early bird special for the Mindset Reset webinar is $47, and I'm only opening it up to 50 seats because I can't take everybody's questions if there's 100 people on the webinar. So that's why I'm making it smaller. So in the Mindset Reset, it all begins with your mindset. You change your mindset and you truly change your sales. That is a given. You have to rewire your brain for success. It's what you have to do. And there are two types of mindsets. There's the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Who are you? We're going to go deep into this in the Mindset Reset webinar because it's important for you to know. Oftentimes, you may start out with a growth mindset, but let's say circumstances happen in your life and you find yourself being worn thin, or you're just juggling a lot, or success isn't happening the way you want it to, you can easily slide into a fixed mindset. And I'm going to give you tools on how to prevent that from happening. So you could go back and forth between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. That's why you have to work every single day on your mindset. It isn't a one and done. It's something you have to continue to work on. Okay. Then we're going to do an activity, and you'll get a workbook with the webinar. And in this activity, it's funny. Every time I do this with sales teams, there's always those that say, oh, I'm not negative. I'm a really positive person, until I ask them to write down 5 thoughts you had today. What were the thoughts? Doesn't matter what they are, just write them down. And then go back and identify which ones are the positive, which ones are the negative, and then which ones are repeated thoughts. And I'll get into a lot more of those details in the upcoming webinar. But invariably, I'll hear back during the training. People will say, you know what? I did have a few negative thoughts. We always think we're positive until we start tracking those thoughts. It's amazing. And then, did you know thoughts are habits? They are. You can wake up every morning thinking the same thought, having the same worry, having the same stress. And we'll dive deeper into this in the webinar, because there is a way that you can track that pattern, and there's a way you can break that pattern. And then we'll do check-ins, the mind-body loop. So you'll know when I feel stressed, my body usually responds by, and then you're going to name it. This is all in the workbook that we work through in the webinar. And the mind-body loop is so important, because this is the secret on how you rewire your brain to success. This is real important. Now, how to train your mind? Well, I blanked that out. Well, I can give you away all my secrets, and I'm only showing you 6 slides. There are, I believe, 22 lessons in all in this 90-minute Mindset Reset webinar. But I just wanted to give you a feel of what's in it. And then there's another activity. I think there's actually 6 activities total. And then I give you a growth mindset hack. So it can help you every single day to reset your mindset. So you're not going to reset your mindset once and then you're good. No, this is a daily habit that you're going to develop. And you'll want to when you start seeing the effects. And then it's, again, do this daily. I give you all kinds of tips on what to do daily. And then this is the end. Here it is right here. If you want more, you have to become more. That is so important. If you want more, you have to become more. Okay. So I'm sure you have those days where your inbox feels like a battlefield and your quota's looming. You're not really sure how you're going to meet your goal. Here we are at the beginning of October. So we only have 3 more months to get in our year-end goal. I mean, are you the last minute person? Because frankly, this is the time now that you should be planning for 2026. You should be gearing up your prospecting and your quotes for 2026. That's why quick rituals save the day, especially if you're behind and you haven't met your quota yet. So I swear by a success journal. I swear by it. I've talked about it lots of times. And it's writing down 3 wins from the week. You can do it daily or you can do it at the end of the week. I prefer to do it daily. So if you do it daily, just write 1 win from your day. If you wait till Friday, then write down 3 to 5 wins you've had all week. It could be something small, like on Tuesday, you were able to keep your entire schedule. Because I know how things can derail so easily. But the reason why you're doing this is you are looking for evidence that you are moving forward. Maybe it's you nailed a follow-up call or you turned an objection into a yes. Write it down. Once, just to give you an example, I had a client bail the last minute, but I wrote in my success journal, I'm grateful I learned how to pivot faster. I'm grateful I learned how to pivot faster. Even though that client bailing wasn't the ideal thing for me, I did learn to pivot quicker and I went right back to prospecting again. So it shifts your focus from stress to progress. And that's really what you want to do. You don't want to stay in that stress mode because if you stay grounded in stress every day, this is how it hurts your brain. So keep this in mind. Your mind and your brain are not the same thing. Your brain does not think. Okay? Your brain does not think. The thoughts go through your mind. Whatever goes through your mind triggers your brain, and then the brain triggers your body. So if you have stress thoughts, it will trigger your brain to release. It will trigger your brain, and then your brain reacts to those stressful thoughts, and it will release cortisol into your body. And cortisol in itself isn't bad, but when it's being released constantly because of stress thoughts, you're, bombarding your body with cortisol, and that leads to a problem with your metabolism. It leads to higher blood pressure. It leads to higher sugar in your blood, and it all affects your weight. That's why it's so important that you grasp your thoughts and you control your thoughts. Okay. If you all will put in the comments 1 sales win that you're grateful for this week. So it's Friday. So did you have a win this week? Would you drop it in the comments? I would love to know. So let's talk about storytelling as a mindset tool. Storytelling is not only effective for selling, but it's also effective in mindset as well. Sales is all about stories, right? I bet you have tons of stories of success stories from clients that you have turned prospects into clients. You should share those success stories with your prospect. Do you know how to do that in selling? Maybe I'll do a video on that coming up because that's very important. So you're always selling a vision to your clients. But this is about the story with mindset. This is about the story you tell yourself. When a deal flops, it's tempting to think, oh boy, did I blow that? Nope. Reframe it as a chapter in your success saga. You know, success isn't a straight shoot. It's an up and down. And if you've been selling for any length of time like I have, you always have peaks and valleys. What you're trying to do is, you can have a peak and then a crash to a valley. What you're trying to do is make those valleys almost as high as the peaks so you can easily maneuver to the peak instead of trying to take months to dig out of it. Does that make sense? Would you let me know in the comments if that makes sense? So, like you, I have prospects that ghost me too. And I had a prospect ghost me after weeks of emails. But I told myself, this is the part where I learn resilience and land a bigger fish. I did a month later. I landed a bigger fish a month later. So next time you get a no or you get ghosted, don't naturally go to, and this is what people do, what did I do wrong? Maybe you didn't do anything wrong at all. It's the other person that didn't keep their commitment. Maybe this is a person that often doesn't keep commitments. It could be that person, not you. And it could have turned out to be a nightmare client if you did sell them. So next time you get a no, write it out like a movie scene. I'm being serious about this. Write it out like a movie scene. And then you're going to ask yourself, what's the lesson? How's the hero you growing? You see, it keeps rejection from sticking. And when you have rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection, which we do in sales, if you don't have a strong mindset that will start, if you don't have a strong mindset, those rejections will start to erode your confidence, your belief in yourself, the belief in your product you're selling, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, maybe I'm just not good at sales. Don't let that negativity enter your mind. Truly, don't let it happen. If you're doing everything that you can do to learn how to sell, learn how to control your thoughts, learn mindset to work to your advantage, not to your detriment, then it may not be you at all. It may be the other person. Now, speaking of staying in the game, last two Savvy Sales Lady lives, I think it was, I did a video on imposter syndrome. If you struggle with that, go look that video up. It will help you because it's that little voice saying, who are you to close this deal? You're not good enough to close this deal. It hits all of us if we're not vigilant against those thoughts. So I've been there, pitching to a big client and feeling like a fraud. Here's how to fight it. You got to focus on the small wins. So last week, a client said they appreciated my clarity on a call. Not a signed contract, but a win. I noted it and thought, well, I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a reason, everyone. Also, you need to find your crew. I've gotten a text thread with a few sales buddies, men and women, who hype me up when I doubt myself. It's like instant mindset medicine. You've got to have your inner circle around you who will not only build you up and hold you up, but will be honest with you when you need to hear some honesty. I never want to surround myself with yes people, because when you can't accept good feedback for your own good, when you can't do that, then you will never grow. I'm always looking for feedback so I know what areas to improve and what areas to tweak. So, as I said, my Mindset Reset webinar is happening. Let me get it back. On October 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to dive into the crushing limited beliefs, boosting unshakable confidence, and making sales feel like second nature. So today's tips are just warming you up to the main event, which is the webinar. Honestly, everyone, I could talk about this for months on end. There's so much research and science on mindset and how it affects every area of our life. So the tips you're going to learn in the Mindset Reset just doesn't apply to sales. It can apply to every area of your life. If you have children, it's something you can teach your children too. So I'm only doing 50 spots, as I said earlier, because I want to be able to get to everybody's questions and help everybody that is attending the webinar. So reserve your spot, and trust me, it's to boost your sales brain, your brain needs. So back to the show. All right, quick poll. Devon overcame a pricing objection by elaborating on the, oh, good, Devon. Absolutely. Good for you. Congratulations. Makes sense. Thank you, Devon, for sharing. Yeah, makes sense. Absolutely. So Devon, let me tell you about Devon. He is a subscriber to my channel, and in one of my in one of my videos, he asked a comment about mindset. I made a video based on what he asked me so that I could help him with that question. It was easier to make the video than write a lengthy comment to him or just giving cliff notes. So that's why I made the video, and I appreciate you, Devon. I really do. All right. So quick poll, everyone. Have you ever felt like an imposter? Tell me in the comments. Let's keep it real, okay? So let's talk about networking with the right mindset, because sales is about relationships, not just numbers. And believe it or not, when you go on a networking event, you are not selling. You're not going to sell. You're going to meet people. You're going to build a relationship. But networking events or cold outreach can oftentimes feel intimidating, whether you're outgoing or more reserved. Here's the mindset shift. Lead with curiosity, not pressure. So let me say that again. Lead with curiosity, not pressure. Instead of, oh, I'm here, I need to sell, think, what can I learn from this person? Be curious, be interested in them. Make sure you give them good eye contact, that like they're the only person in the room. So I was at a trade show once. Oh, I've been to so many trade shows over the years. And I was new to the company, so I felt a little out of place. And I started asking people, what's the best business tip you've picked up lately? Let me say that again. What's the best business tip you picked up lately? Now, this wasn't planned by me. It just maybe divine intervention. I don't know what made me say it, but I said, what's the best business tip you've picked up lately? Because I was new in the business and I was eager to learn. It sparked so many real conversations. I started using that one line every time I went to a networking meeting or I went to a trade show. And one led to a 5-figure deal about 2 months later. Yeah, it works. If big crowds aren't your thing, set a goal. Set a goal to maybe meet 10 connections at each event. Okay. Never go into a trade show without a plan. And let me give you another tip on trade shows. So I always used to tell people what booth I was going to be at. I would set up lunches, I would set up dinners, coffee meetings ahead of the trade show. So when I went into the trade show, I had a plan. You should be doing that too, because quality beats quantity every single time. All right, let me share another story with you. I've got a million, everyone. Early in my career, I went to a networking event and it felt like everyone else had it together, suits, confidence, the works. It made me nervous. I'm an introvert. So large events, networking events, conferences, trade shows, things like that, my natural self, it makes me nervous. So I overheard someone mention a struggle with their sales pipeline. And I chimed in because I knew all about that. And I gave them a CRM tip that I'd learned. And we ended up talking for like 20 minutes. And that connection didn't close a deal right away. But months later, they did refer to me someone who became a major client. The mindset, I showed up to give value, not to go get a sale. It's a total game changer. Okay, do you want to drop in the comments if you have a networking icebreaker that you want to share? Share it in the comments. I'm always looking for new ones. And share it with others because they may be looking too. And if you're listening later, think about yours, okay? Finally, let's balance hustle with self-care. So every time people think of self-care, their eyes kind of glaze over. I'm a hustler. I'm not talking about not being a hustler, but if you are one of those hard workers like I am, I mean, even to this day, I've been known to work 12-hour days. you have to take some time for yourself. Sales is a marathon, not a sprint. And if you're burning the candle at both ends, your mindset suffers terribly. I learned this the hard way when I was answering emails at 1 a.m. and I actually took time during Christmas Day to provide a quote to an agent. And he didn't even place the business with me. And this was when I was selling group benefits back in the day. I took time out of Christmas to do a quote for this insurance agent. He didn't put the business with me because we were a few dollars higher. I kid you not. Last time I ever did that. There are times you have to make professional boundaries. So answering emails at 1 a.m., answering text messages at 1 a.m., or doing prospect quotes or client quotes on holidays, set your professional boundaries for your sanity. So now I don't do that. I don't do that. When I say that I'm working 12 hours, some of it could be client work I'm doing, like rewriting their emails and rewriting their scripts. I'm not actually on a Zoom coaching call with them, but I'm at my desk reconstructing their emails and their cold call scripts so that it flows better. And believe it or not, my email open rates are 41%. And that's what my clients are telling me too. Their email open rates have exploded since I've been rewriting their emails. There's a science behind that, everyone. So, do something for yourself. Like go listen to some jazz music out, or, take a walk, get some exercise, go to the gym. But you need to take care of yourself so you can run the marathon. A reset salesperson is a closing salesperson. So pick one evening this week to unplug early. Your energy and your clients will thank you for it. Now, if you're loving these mindset tips that I've shared with you, we go even deeper in the Mindset Reset webinar. Like completely transform how you approach sales. It's that powerful, everyone. I get such good reviews on my Mindset Reset virtual training. So we're going to cover strategies to ditch fear, amplify your confidence, and make every sales call feel effortless. It's happening soon. Spots are going fast. And I put a link in the comments section to register. And it's also in the description area of this video on YouTube once the live stream is over. So let's recap. Kick your day off with gratitude. Reframe setbacks as stories. Fight imposter syndrome with small wins. Network with curiosity, not to sell. And protect your energy with boundaries. Pick one of these you're going to try this week and let me know how it goes. All right. Thank you all for being with me. And drop in the comments what one thing I said in this live stream that really resonated with you and what you're going to try this week. I would love to see what it is you're going to try. So I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. And remember, stay savvy, and I'll see you on Tuesday live with more tips to make you successful. Stay savvy.